You're listening to Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Sponsored by Treebor Soft Mints. Absolute Radio.
Welcome to Not the Weekend podcast. This is Frank Skinner for Absolute Radio with Gareth and Emily.
Hello.
Hi, Frank.
Oh, that's it. We're off.
Oh, yeah. All right.
And we're here to entertain you. You may be in a desert in... where do they have deserts? Somalia, you might be in there. You might be in the armed forces. You might be
The French Foreign Legion.
Oh,
yeah.
I like an armed forces, Frank. Find me a nice armed forces.
Oh,
Lovely.
No, we don't.
Don't I?
They're away all the time.
Perfect.
No,
Perfecto.
I think you've lived alone long enough. We need to find you a home bird or sit in and look after you and watch, DVDs at night and stuff like that.
Maybe you're right.
Put you a hot water bottle in.
A retired colonel, that'd do the job. That'd be just the ticket.
Not a retired colonel, because they're all called Sabanging and bald as beer-stick, aren't they? You know what I mean? It's too much. You don't want that in your driving licence.
Okay.
You don't want a driving licence that you can't fit in your glove compartment because the name's too long. That's what I always say.
Well,
I say
that's
always.
true.
I've said it. Actually, that was the first time I've ever said it.
There you go.
Probably the last.
Frank, we've had some emails and texts in.
That's good, because if we didn't have emails and texts, what on earth would we find to converse about?
Well, do you remember? It actually wasn't our last show. It was the show before. That's how retro these guys are going. It was a response to that show where you were asking people to text in with their bad celebrity meetings or just any celebrity encounters.
Oh, that show. It's
That
a bit like
show.
That Dress. It's that show with the safety pins in it that I went to that premiere with Hugh Grant.
Exactly.
That show, I remember it.
And you did challenge people to come up with a negative story about meeting you,
I did, yes.
but none came through on the show.
No. What do you mean by that? Don't like your tone.
But
None came through on the show.
Yeah, exactly. I gathered
However,
that.
or did it?
Is this going to be from my ex-wife?
No.
Okay.
Dear Frank, Emily and Gareth, after listening to last week's...
I'm liking the billing, at least.
Yeah. Might I be the first to rain on the Frank was so nice to me parade? And probe the inner black of his Dalek.
Yeah, I should explain. I was talking about the Charlie Sheen thing last week, and I said that I think that Charlie Sheen...
Oh, Mr. Sheen. Oh, Mr. Sheen.
He's not a terrible monster. He's just like every other Hollywood star. In fact, like probably most celebrities, that the inside black horrible thingy that you get inside a Dalek, that's what is inside all of them. They all think they're superior and that we're just vermin, the Hollywood stars. He's the first one who said
He's
it. That's
just
my
honest.
theory.
He's just calling it. Back in 2004...
Winning!
Back in 2004... Oh, yes, I can bear a grudge. I spotted you in the junction in Highbury, following a very creditable and very unlikely draw for the Albion against Arsenal.
I remember that game.
I was with a bunch of mates, and upon clapping eyes on you, I drunkenly hollered, "Way, Frankie!" You returned the compliment with a withering half-smile.
Hold up. What compliment? Since when has "Way, Frankie" been a compliment? What am I supposed to say? Oh, thank you very much. Yes, I just bought it. It doesn't mean anything.
Oh, you're too kind. A withering half-smile and scuttled briskly away. Oh, like some Birmingham cockroach. What's
Yeah,
going
exactly.
on? Had you been wearing a gabardine mac that day, I'm sure you would have turned up your collar at this point.
I think I scuttled... Well, obviously... Let me get this. Are people listening to this, are they thinking, what? They went up to him and went, "Wah, Frankie," and he didn't sit with them and break bread? What kind of monster is he? I think most people would have thought, oh, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I say he got a half smile.
Well, oddly, Frank, I remembered this because I was in that pub on that day.
I
Yeah.
was at Georgia. I should explain. There was a it's a recitation that was in the American charts called "A Deck of Cards" by I think it was Wink Martindale.
Oh.
And what happens is a man sees a soldier in church with a deck of playing cards, and he's outraged that he has playing cards in church. And then the guy explains that they all represent, like, when I see the ace, I think that there's one God, and when I see the 3, I think of the, actually, he says, when I see the tray, is what he actually says. When I see the tray, I think of the Trinity. When was it called the tray? Anyway, Max Bygraves did a cover of it. You know Max Bygraves?
Oh, yeah, one of my favourites.
When I see the tray, I think of the Trinity. It was like that. But at the end of this thing, at the end of the song, Wick Martindale says, not Hank, Wick Martindale says, and I know I was that soldier. Oh. But because there's something wrong with Max Bygraves' nose or something, he says, I know I was that dolger.
Oh, no.
So,
Ruined.
that's where that came from.
Max Bygraves always ruined it, I found.
Oh, I love Max Bygraves.
Yeah, you're quite a fan of his.
Apparently Max Bygraves wanted to be buried in 2 places, which is why he was called Bygraves.
Oh, he made
I
it.
see.
Oh, he's done a bad murder. You've done a bad murder.
Oh,
He's done a bad murder.
He lives in Bournemouth, doesn't he? He's one of your lot.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
Momo.
Oh, God, yeah, he's still alive.
Wow.
Is he one of the Bomo crew?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we hang out.
No, he is.
In exclusive night spots.
Anyway, we've gone all Bygravian. I'm still in the. I'm still in the
Noxian.
junction.
I'm still in the Noakes.
No,
He's
it's my
called
assumption. I'm still up the junction.
He's called Stephen Noakes, by the way, this guy.
Okay.
Which makes me think he's nice, because I think of John Noakes, who had a dog, Frank. Do you know what that dog was called? I think you do.
What, whole shit?
Yeah.
I remember it well.
Anyway, Noakesy says, despite this, I still enjoy the show, which cheers up a wet February day delivering cars to Ipswich. Oh.
Cars to Ipswich?
Yeah.
Well, are they cars? Have they got very, very big tyres, indeed, and go quite slowly? That's what they drive in Ipswich, as I understand it.
But Frank, I was in that pub that day. I was in that pub.
Yes.
Because my boyfriend at the time, I remember, was there, and I was with him, and I do remember seeing him. But, you see, Frank, the joys of being a civilian, Welsh biography, he doesn't know. I might have been horrible to him. In fact, I probably was. He doesn't know that, does he?
No, you're quite right. But anyway, I mean, it wasn't that bad, was it, what I did? Whoa, Frankie, I smiled a bit and went away. I think that's all right.
No?
We've had another
Okay.
spotting email. Dear Frank, Emily and Gareth, I met Paddy McGuinness a few years back, and I was really looking forward to it. However, when I met him...
So, really looking forward to it? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
really looking forward to it.
Okay.
However...
He's a lovely bloke.
Yeah. No judgment. No judgment.
But you haven't even met him. He's
I've
he's
never
lovely.
Oh,
met
I've
that
met
man.
him.
Have you?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, that I say no.
No,
I
not
see
like
now.
that.
Yeah, right. I know that look.
However, when I met him, he was completely uninterested in talking to me. I believe it was because there were much prettier younger girls waiting behind me in the queue.
Oh. Hold on. What was the queue for? Full intercourse.
I was about 25 at the time. Although I may not be at the Emily Dean kind of level.
Well, no. If you're 25, you're 25 years away from that level for a start-up.
People are going to think I actually am that old. People do
no,
think
people
that.
wouldn't.
Emily's
that.
not 0.
Yeah, exactly. That's very nice of her, Frank. Anyway, go
But
on.
she says, I'm certainly no Elephant Man lookalike. I quickly left after taking a photo.
Well, if she'd have been an Elephant Man look-alike, surely Paddy McGuinness would have said, "All right, Peter, I didn't know you were coming."
Oh. Oh, dear.
Wow.
It's a joke. You'd be all right with a joke. wouldn't
Difficult to work with. Anyway, carry on.
you are.
I quickly left after having a photo taken with him. A way to storm out.
Yeah, exactly. I've never been so insulted in my life. Can you just smile?
But every time I see the photo, I'm reminded of what a poo face he was.
Steady.
Oh, my
Yes.
God,
Well,
Frank.
I didn't have a chance to check the absolute language manual. Poo
Yeah.
face.
Where do we
I
stand on
said
poo?
poo face.
Has she still got the photo? I'd like
I
to see
think
the
so.
photo. 'Cause
She says every time she sees the photo, she thinks
she
of the
looks.
poo face.
It's framed. It's on the wall, framed. Even
Was
now.
there a light on in the photo? Because you know what?
Oh, you're not suggesting that he was thinking deep down in his mind.
No lighty, no likey.
That's what I think he was thinking. Oh, what? Well, look, don't feel bad about it, Kelly, because I did a show that last week recorded a show with Charlie Brooker on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
For radio, I think I mentioned another. I mentioned Radio 4. They're not really...
The posh one, yeah.
They're not an obvious rival of Absolute.
The poshans.
And we started the show, and it was, getting laughs, going lovely. And then people started leaving. Well, I can imagine. I mean, I was affronted. Charlie looked proper glum. He did. I think his fringe moved about 4 inches to the left as he frowned. Anyway...
Oh no, people are walking out. I'm so unhappy. Never mind, let's put a brave face on it. Let's cheer ourselves up, don't worry.
Is it a Potter advert? Sounding like Johnny Rotten. Anyway...
That's a very good Charlie Brooker impression.
What I realised is that Jack Whitehall was supposed to be on the show and he hadn't turned up. So they were all young
Jack
women
Whitehall.
that left.
Yes.
They'd come to see...
You know what? They turned up to see that smirking Harry.
Yeah, exactly.
And he wasn't there.
And it was me and Charlie Brooker, and they left. So I know how you feel, Kelly. I've been rejected because of a lack of lusciousness
And
myself.
Let's face it, you're no stud muffin.
No.
I didn't say that, Vicky Bly did.
She did. She said I was no... But I think she said, no stud muffin, but very funny, and I'll always settle for that.
Well, that's good.
Jack Whitehall has got the Bride of Frankenstein hair without the streak as well. Have you noticed that? Exactly the
Has
same.
he?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a good-looking chap, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kelly also said, though, that she had a lovely experience meeting you outside of the Albert Hall.
Oh,
was
Frank,
nice.
how could you outside
Did
the Albert
she?
Hall?
And then later she, nothing
She
like
met me
that.
outside the
Yes,
Albert Hall.
She said...
That's quite a Victorian groupie
she
outside the Albert Hall.
She asked for an autograph.
She a stage door Johnny.
I was with my mum, and to my embarrassment, she said she loves your show. She watches it every week. To which Frank replied, "Oh, you're the one watching. I knew someone was."
Oh, Frank, you
I've
wag.
always got the big
Charmer.
one-liner up my sleeve. What were we doing at the Albert Hall, dare I ask?
Oh, it was the Mavericks.
Oh, the man.
Oh, God, was it? I
Yeah.
shouldn't have asked.
You had just
She's on-called
seen
me completely.
the Mavericks, Frank.
I went to see the
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what the Mavericks are?
Are they about?
If I were to say to you, I want to dance the night away
Wow.
with senoritas as they sway. I hang around with drunken women is the subtext
Yeah.
of that. Do you remember that song?
I do.
Well, that was the Mavericks.
I like some of their other songs as well.
I'm impressed they got a gig at the Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah, it's hard to
Extraordinary.
believe.
How did they fill that venue?
Well, did they? I think it was just me, Kelly, and a mum. Sat in the corner drinking tea. Well, anyway, I think that should be the end of the "How nice am I" section.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I was in quite a posh restaurant. This is not another "How nice I am," but I was in quite a posh restaurant the other day with a couple
Are we
of...
talking Pizza Hut?
No posher than that. It was so posh
Nando's.
that Julia Bradbury was
Oh,
on
yeah.
another
Countryfile.
table. Yeah, I'm imagining she walked there. She does the Wainwright walk. Very, nice. So I went over and said hello to her, and I sat down, and I thought, I never really dine out with celebs. There aren't many, I don't really have many celebrity friends. Is this something I've missed out on in my
You got
life?
David Baddiel.
Yeah, I know, but I'd like... David Baddiel's got about 40 celebrity friends. I think I'm currently 36th in the table. But he's, he just, will I look back on my deathbed and think I should have made more effort and, to hang around with,
Yeah.
favourably, off the top of my head. Anyway, so, I'm thinking this, and then I look across and there's, Paloma Faith.
Oh,
Another-
yeah. I like her.
Yeah, looking incredibly glamorous. Obviously, I have a certain grudge against Paloma Faith. You may remember that I got in a cab, and the bloke wouldn't let me eat in there because he said Paloma Faith had been in there the night before in a £2,000 coat. And what if she came back and I'd left grease on the chair?
That was it.
So she ruined my night retrospectively. I'm blaming Paloma Faith for an episode of malnutrition.
Yeah.
Although my girlfriend always says that we, I'm giving we were in Agent Provocateur, me and my girlfriend.
Oh, that was nice of you, Frank.
But now, you're presuming
you're-
I was actually buying myself, but it was a tarpaulin harness. Fairly heavily buckled. Gripping in the extreme. And she served us Paloma Faith worked in there.
Did she?
Yeah.
Oh.
And when she got famous, Kat said,
before
I
she
remember...
was famous.
Yeah.
Do you
Kat
know what that
said, I
is,
remember
Agent
that woman. She
Yes.
served us in
Sorry.
Agent
When you become
Provocateur.
part of an organisation and sort of stir things up.
No, I just want to check he knows what it is, Frank.
Yeah, Grandies.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm thinking, you know, Paloma Faith, it doesn't get much more glamorous than that. And someone had said to me, did you get papped on the way in? And I said, no. And they said, I think they're for Paloma Faith.
Oh.
So there was cameras and it was very... So I couldn't see who she was with. Some bloke was sitting talking to her. And as they got up to leave, who was it? Who was the guy? Who was the guy who was big enough
Was it?
to have a...
Was it Jon Snow?
It wasn't Jon Snow. Any other guesses?
Patrick Keelty.
No.
That's a weird game.
No.
It's not
It
good.
was... so Jon Snow was a reasonable guess. No, it was Absolute Radio's Jeff Lloyd.
It wasn't.
I mean, I couldn't believe he's not even a face for radio. And he's out with Paloma Faith. And he'd gone. I didn't get a chance to... I thought I'd go over and say hello to him, and then
What,
I'll
he
get,
left her on her
introduced
own?
to... Yeah, well, no, they went to... I mean, don't get me wrong, it didn't look at all romantic, but
No.
even so, he was still dining with Paloma Faith.
Oh,
You know, I like to think that I'm the kind of... You know, I'm the head honcho on the celeb front on Absolute.
no.
You know what I mean?
No.
When I'm coming in here saying I was out with the Archbishop of Canterbury the other night,
And Maurice
I
Stewart.
don't want Jeff Lloyd playing his Paloma Faith card.
Different sort of faith. Me too.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
Frank,
So you
what-
didn't
And the
cut
OC,
it.
and the OC with David Tennant this, David Tennant that. But I thought, you know...
You didn't cut in though.
No.
That's
The OC, he trumps all of us with that David Tennant card. That's the best one.
Yeah, but you
isn't
can't keep playing it. Over
Can't
and
you?
over. No. And also, once you've had them on the show, it becomes a professional engagement. And what about people you just hang out with?
it? Yeah, like me.
I'm happy
I've got
to
a
hang
good
out with
celeb
you.
call.
Have you?
Frank, I had a restaurant incident this week. Not as happy as yours, I have to say.
Mine wasn't that happy. I was bitter.
Well, this is worse than bitter.
Oh, dear.
I got angry. Very angry. I went to a new tapas restaurant. I was with my boss. Quite 70s to go out with your boss for dinner, isn't it?
It is. Can I say, for those of you who don't know, that you might think that I am Emily's boss. How wrong you'd be. Emily is the deputy editor of In Style magazine.
Yeah, exactly. So every deputy has an editor.
Of course.
Even I have a boss. So we had a nice, bit of a working meal. We thought, we'll have a glass of wine, keep us going, as I'm sure you said back in the day.
Yeah. Did you talk Galliano?
We might have.
Okay, carry on.
That's classified. Mm-hmm. And as we went in, it was a new restaurant. I hadn't tried it before. It was
Galliano, you may not know, is one of these international languages. It's taken over from Esperanto. I often go to restaurants there where people speak it. It sounds a bit like Italian, but not quite. It's
You need to get those Berlitz tapes. So
Rosetta Stone. That's the one
Yeah.
for me.
we
Sounds
went.
like an old blues singer. Carry on.
I won't name and shame it. I won't name and shame
No,
it.
don't do that. Let's not take advantage of our
No.
position.
But what worried me was that there's a little strap line underneath the name of the restaurant.
I was going to mention your little strap line.
It said a Spanish concept. Now that worried me.
Did it really?
Why would you say a Spanish concept?
concept.
I thought was odd. Anyway, we sit down.
A siesta.
The man comes over, order 2 glasses of wine. Nothing arrives. Can I do a Spanish accent? Is that allowed?
Yeah,
Okay.
Spanish is all right. They're not an oppressed race, are they?
Well, you say that. 10 minutes later.
After what they did to the Aztecs. They've got a nerve now getting all hoity-toity about it.
True.
10 minutes later, no wine. Excuse me, can we have the wine? Yes. Okay. Bit knocky.
That was a horse. They are quite slow. You'd think they'd be faster. But they had to back into the kitchen.
Another 5 minutes passes. No
Oh,
wine.
no, that's-
Excuse me, could I have my wine, please? By this time, I'm sounding a bit like you in 1987.
Right, okay.
Yes, okay, it's coming.
Oh, what?
Suddenly, he arrives. 2 giant goblets.
What, just hanging there? Yeah.
Filled with Coca-Cola. Yes! I said, I don't want that. I want wine. So by this time, I'm screaming, I want wine. It's not a good look.
No.
So he goes off. Okay.
Do you think that's what Mary was like at the wedding with Jesus? I don't want water! I want wine!
Mum, you're making a
Mum, you're
scene.
showing me up. Stop it.
So he goes off to get the wine.
Yeah.
In the meantime, he brings over some Spanish concept food that I've ordered.
Okay.
It's a burger. A sort of strange
L
tapasy burger. I'm not sure what's going on, but when I open it, there's a big black hair in it. I think it was because of the wine. I think he was angry.
That's
So-
the Spanish take on a burger.
Well, I called...
They're making it their own.
I said to him, excuse me, he looked at him and, it's not mine. I said, well, it's not mine. Anyway, to cut a very long story short, I got so angry. I still didn't have my wine, Frank, at this point. I've got the hairy burger. I've got the goblets full of Coke.
Yeah. I don't want 2 goblets and a hairy burger. Not when I'm out with the boss. Well, I mean, you know, put you on the spot.
So do you know what I did?
What happened to the hairy burger? Was it returned?
I
or-
sent it back.
I say you could have at least. Did you have tweezers?
I sent it back. It was
Okay.
good because it meant I didn't have to eat, which was good. So
yeah.
I went
Always
over,
a plus.
went over to the bar. I got so cross. I said, excuse me, where's the wine? And he's coming.
Oh, incredible. I bet
So-
it was quite expensive, this place, as well.
So do you know what? I saw him. He was pouring it so slowly. I went behind the bar. I got the glasses.
Did he pour for more?
I went behind the bar, Frank.
You
Got the
went behind the bar?
Yes, yeah. In my clip-cloppy heels.
Oh, I'd love to have seen that.
Got the glasses, walked over to the table, poured that wine, plonked them on the table. I put one down so aggressively, the glass smashed.
Wow.
He came over, he went, nobody's perfect, I guess.
He's brave, man. By now you were morphing into Pat Butcher, I'm guessing.
So, yeah, complaint letters have been written, is all I can say.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, of course, Frank.
No, that's rubbish. Oh, well, I'm very sorry to hear that. Speaking of smashed glass, I've got an enormous mirror at home. I mean, it's about 4 foot high. Massive, big gold ornate frame.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big sort of antique piece of furniture. I get a phone call yesterday. It's my girlfriend, Kath. She said, oh, I've done something bad. I said, what you done? She said, I broke the mirror. I said, not the great big, massive one in the big gold frame. You can't, it's so big and She said, no, I was moving it and I stumbled. I said, well, look, you know, don't worry. I said, it was expensive, but we can get another mirror in it, and in that, you know, gold frame. She said, oh no, I broke the frame as well. How do you break the frame? How many years bad luck is that?
Oh, dear. So it's all broken now.
Yeah. And I went into the room where it was, and it was as if there'd been glitter scattered. There's little shards of glass throughout the carpet. So I should look forward to going in there when I don't remember and walking out, leaving like blood on the boards as I walk up there. What about that? What about that for a domestic tale? You're right. So, Gareth, what about... Well, enough about our lives.
Yeah.
What about your life?
Well, this week I had a gig.
Thought I'd get in early.
I had a gig in Harrogate.
Harrogate. Posh,
Yeah.
quite posh, Harrogate.
Quite posh, surprisingly posh.
Yeah, people think Yorkshire, you know, they think, you know, clogs and all that, but no way.
Yeah, no, it's nice. A spa town. So to make the most of the trip, because sometimes you go and do gigs places and you don't see the place, you don't experience what it has to offer. So I booked myself into the Turkish baths.
You've changed.
That's a bit creepy, Frank.
Why?
I just find I'm not being rude, but I find it quite creepy that you did
Why
that.
is that?
Why?
It's
I don't
a tourist
know.
attraction. It's not like a private.
Yeah, there are a lot of tourist attractions which aren't very salutary. I'm
Not in
sorry.
Harrogate.
Okay.
It's not like that. There are no sex tourists in Harrogate. No,
Well,
goodness
but
me,
no,
no.
people recommended it. The gig the night
Who
before.
recommended that?
People in Harrogate had said you should go to the.
He just went up
it's
to
a thing
people on the
see.
street.
You got off the train and someone said, excuse me, sir, you should go to Turkish bath.
I didn't get the train. I got the car, so that's why there's no train stories.
So anyway, you went to the Turkish bath.
Yes.
Have I ever been to a Turkish bath?
I have,
remember.
but that's another story.
You've been to one?
Yeah, I have, in Turkey.
Did
Carry
you
on.
sit in one of those boxes? You know, you sit in a box with their head sticking out the top with like a towel around their neck. Those boxes.
No, I didn't sit in a box.
See, I always dream of having that converted into a car. So you could drive around in one of those boxes with just trails of stream coming out from your neck gap.
Brilliant.
You know your neck gap.
Yes.
Did you do that?
No, I didn't. I didn't do
What
that.
did you do, Gareth?
I didn't convert anything into a car. Well, I booked myself into the Tuesday morning set, which is a mix session. You can do.
I told you, Frank.
No, because
What's happening?
there's male and female sessions, and I didn't like. It says that swimming costumes must be worn for the mixed sessions.
What happens in the male
Yeah,
one?
well, exactly. I thought that's the
Okay.
one for me. I don't want. I'm uncomfortable with nudity.
I don't know if it's nudity. I think they all squeeze into one costume. Not strictly speaking, nudity.
And
So you went for
and
the one with
also
the
all men-
ladies.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
I went. With the with the ladies. Make
lovely.
it sound like that. There's different rooms. So what it is it's like there's a steam room that is steamy. There's a plunge pool, and then there's three
Frigidarium.
different rooms, the hot rooms, and they get gradually hotter as you go inside.
Yes, we know they're not called. They're called
A bit-
tepidarium,
yes.
caldarium, and frigidarium.
Yes.
No, I didn't know that.
Iconium.
I know that. I know a lot
Well,
about.
isn't that the name of the three wise men? It's true.
You go and they're separated by
you and your
curtains.
Turkish back. Separated by curtains.
Curtains. So as the deeper you go, the hotter. It's a bit like visiting an elderly relative. It just gets hotter and hotter the deeper in you go.
I think we'll rephrase that.
Their houses.
Can we?
Visiting the house.
Can we do that again, please? Jeff, can we? What, live, you say? Oh, no. Yes. Anyway, carry on. Back to the Turkish bath. If we can't keep it clean in a Turkish bath, things are getting pretty bad.
So a man showed me around, a northern man showed me around. He goes, "That's a plunge pool. You can see people smiling in there because it's nice and warm. It's not really. It's very cold."
Oh, I see.
And then he said, "Those showers over there, they're nice and hot. Not really. Those are really cold. Those ones. Those ones there, they're really hot."
He was a bit of a joker.
So
This
I'm
one.
quite confused.
And then
by
he
this
saw
point.
and then Anne Robinson came in, and he said, "Oh, she's really hot. She's not really. She's intensely cold."
And you're supposed to have a shower and
Yeah.
then go into the steam room to start. So I went in the steam room to start with, and in the steam room there was only one place to sit. It was full up of people,
Was he really?
and it said, "Be careful of the steam coming out to the left." But there was only one place to sit.
And that
that
was right
empty,
next to the
and that
jet,
was-
the
that-
steam jet.
Well, it was, and I sat on it, and it
You
was.
sat on the jet. Don't
Well,
sit
no,
on the
it
jet.
was just,
That wasn't
it just like
that was
I didn't
someone
want
You
to
never
jet.
sit on the jet, Frank. Everyone knows. Page 1 of Turkish baths.
They were
Well,
probably
it wa-
boiling a kettle.
But it just looked like a normal seat. It looked like all the other seats. So I sat on there. It was right on the brink of.
Was there a postman sitting in there steadily removing postal orders from envelopes with the aid of the steam jet?
He brought a whole sack in with him.
Did he?
Um,
Oh, it's getting worse. Did you give him a postman pat? So hold on, you're in there.
Yeah,
and is
I
it
sat-
pleasant? It's a pleasant experience,
it's
is it?
nice, except in that place because the seat was incredibly hot,
I bet.
and like it was right on the brink of unbearably hot. So I could, you were sitting on it, and then I thought, this is really hot. I don't know if I can. No, I'm okay. And then you think, no, it's really hot. So I moved, asked someone to move up a bit, and the normal seats were fine. I was sat in the hot seat,
I see.
and but then basically everyone who came in sat in that exact place, and nobody told them.
Well,
Every-
nobody, because you say nobody, you mean you. You
Yeah, I
didn't tell
couldn't
them.
tell them.
thing
And
is,
everyone
Julie-
did exactly the same thing of sitting there for a while and going,
Yeah, the thing is to get your trunks really wet in the cold water thing, isn't it? And then go and sit on the hot seat.
Exactly.
Then you
Get
make your
prepared
own
in the frigidarium.
steam. Yeah, but no one did.
So I went in the plunge pool, in the steam room, and then I went in the plunge pool, which was, and he said the one rule of the spa
How's that
is
Brian Glover, this
the
man?
one rule is in the plunge pool you have to smile, and it sounds like
Seriously?
quite a jolly rule, but he said it like I was quite under pressure to smile.
Were you being bullied?
Well, that's why I didn't do the men's section, because I'm worried about being bullied, and I'm worried about nudity.
Yeah.
And I'm being bullied because of nudity. But yeah, he was quite harsh about the smiling rule. But you do smile because it was really cold.
Yes.
And it's a weird thing that you kind of laugh and go ha ha ha, because like you're appalled by how cold it is. The idea that anyone can be that cold, anything can be that cold in the whole world.
Yeah, and that made you laugh.
You smile, because otherwise I think you'd have to get very angry and just scream.
Well, let's hope the listeners listening to this are in the midst of a snow blizzard. I think that's our only hope.
But it did feel great. I went away feeling, apart from one thing, I made a mistake.
What?
I wore contact lenses.
Where?
Into
your eyes?
the Turkish bar in my eyes.
Okay.
Into the Turkish bars.
Yeah, and they steamed, did they? Shrivel?
They shriveled.
Did they really?
They became uncomfortable, and then I thought, I'm going to have to go and take them out, and I had to peel them off my eyeballs.
Oh.
I think they'd slightly melted on.
Yeah.
I think I badly damaged my eyes.
Ah, well. If you're going to make an omelette. Well, I don't know where we can go from there. I feel like I'm sweating just listening to it. I think it was waiting for the punchline. Hey, I'll tell you what before we go.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what was in the papers this week.
Foreign object in food.
We haven't done one of them for ages. Did you read about it?
Yeah.
This was...
There's a frog in my fridge.
Yeah.
There's a frog in my fruit.
Dean Taylor. There's a frog in my fruit. Ooh, it's the frog of your memory. Ooh. Trust me, it's a song. Yes, a woman bought... what was it she bought?
She went to buy some strawberries, yeah. Well, she didn't went to buy them. She bought some strawberries. She successfully purchased the strawberries.
Went before.
And when she got them home, she said she saw... Her name's Donna Hunt, 32. She thought it was a mouldy strawberry at the bottom, and she went to get it, and it was all slimy and moving about. Oh,
Well,
I hate that.
it said, I think, in the Daily Mail, it said that she found a frog hiding in the strawberries, and I thought, probably not hiding. Seemed to be giving it a lot of credit, the frog.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if the people I know are sitting on in a French radio station telling a story about a woman who found a strawberry hiding in a box of frogs she had in the fridge. Is that possible?
You know,
Hiding.
Frank, I don't like the sound of her husband, though. He said he realised straight away that it wasn't native to Britain because it had big pads on its feet. Well, that sounded a little bit racist. Just something I didn't like about that
No, I
comment.
think that's all right. He obviously hasn't seen Absolute Radio's Ronnie Wood in his man-ogs. He's as English as they come, and I can almost hear that padding. Like an old landlady in slippers making her way along the corridor in theatrical digs on a Saturday evening. That's Ronnie Wood, Rolling Stone. Is he still a Rolling Stone?
Really? Are they still operational?
That's this week's phone.
You're listening to Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio, the softest, mintiest show in town. Sponsored by Tree Bar Soft Mints.
Absolute.